Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jayum Vishnupada Paramhansa Pravakacharya Shashtotar Satish Divine Grace Abhay Charna Ravinda Bhakti Vedant Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON BBTBI founder Acharya, Savior of the whole world, the most merciful, AC Bhakti Vedant Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Jayom Vishnupada Paramhansa Pravakacharya Shashtotar Satish Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Tridandi Goswami Maharaj ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Prem se ko jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Shri Shri Radha Rasbihari ji ki Lalita Vishaka ki Sitaram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman ki Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Grantra Srimad Bhagavat Mahapurana ki all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki Nitai Gaur Hari Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Narancha eva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashta Praeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktira Bhavate Naishtake Bhaktira Bhavate Naishtake Bhaktira Bhavate Naishtake. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran, Canto 10, Chapter 47, entitled Song of the Bee. Today we will recite text 13. Before we recite the text, we'll try to get familiarized with the text by reciting the words in the text. Thereafter, the text recitation, word to word meaning translation and purport. Thereafter, as a humble servant, would like to speak something on the text. So please together recite after me the words coming in the text. Sakri Adara Suddham Swam Mohinim Pyayitva Sumanasa Eva Sadhya Tat Yaje Asman Bhavadrika Paricharati Katam Tad Pada Padmam No Padma Hi Api Bata Hita Chetasa Hi Uttama Sloka Jalpae. Sakrid Adara Suddham Swam Mohinim Paya Itva Sakrid Adar Suddham Swam Mohinim Paya Itva Sumanasa Iva Sadaya Tat Yaja Asman Bhavadri Sumanasa Iva Sadyastat Ija Asman Bhavadri Paricharati Katam Tat Pada Padmam Nupadma Paricharati Katam Tat Pada Padmam Nupadma Hi apibatta hirtacheta hi uttama sloka jalpaye Hi apibatta hirtacheta hi uttama sloka jalpaye Sakrit Adara Suddham Swam Mohinim Paya Itva Sumanasa Iva Sadaya Tatijja Asman Bhavadrika Paricharati Katam Tatpada Padmam Nupadma Hiya pibata hirta cheta hi uttama sloka jalpe. Hiya pibata hirta cheta hi uttama sloka jalpa he. Hiya pibata hirta cheta hi uttama sloka jalpa he. Sutam samabhaya. Sakri Radarasuddham Swamoine Payayetva Suman Saiva Sadaje Paricharati Gatantu Adapadnantu Gadva Hiya pibata cheta hi uttama sloka jalpe. Sakri adara suddham samoine bhaya. Suman saiva sadajna. Vaishnavis, Matajis. Sakri. Word to word meanings. Somebody's reciting? Okay. Sakrit once. Adara of the lips. Suddham the nectar. Swam his own. Mohinim bewildering. Paya itva making drink. Sumanasaha flowers. Eva like. Sadhya suddenly. Tat yajya he abandoned. Asman, us, bhavadrika, like you, paricharati, serves, katam, why, tat, his, padapadmam, lotus feet. No, I wonder. Padma, Lakshmi, the goddesses of fortune. He appear indeed, because Bata, alas, Hita taken away. Chetaha, her mind. He certainly. Uttama sloka of Krishna. Jalpe by the false speech. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki. After making us drink the enchanting nectar of His lips, only once Krishna suddenly abandoned us, just as you might quickly abandon some flowers. How is it then that goddess Padma willingly serves his lotus feet? Alas, the answer must certainly be that her mind has been stolen away by his deceitful words. Purport. In this verse, Srimati Radharani continues to compare Sri Krishna to the bumblebee, and in her distress, she states that the reason goddesses of fortune is constantly devoted to his lotus feet must be that she has been fooled by Krishna's promises. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the statement of Srimati Radharani illustrate Parijalpa as described in Sri Ujjvala Nilamani 14.184. Prabho Nidayata Satya Chapaladi Upapadana Swavichakshanata Viktir Bhangyasyat Parijalpitam. Parijalp is that speech which, through various devices, shows one's own cleverness by exposing the mercilessness, duplicity, unreliability, and so on of one's Lord. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyan Anjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Abhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadavaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsham. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patita Nama Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhutir Mahadbir Ya Ima Puru Vibhur Nirmaya Sete Yad Amashu Purusha Bhungte Gunana Sodasa Atmakam Solankri Sista Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Solankri Sista Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Solankri Sista Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Akila Jagat Guru Vachan Se Amar Alankrita Karibara Shamata Tumar Tava Kripa Hoy Mora Kata Shuddha Hoy Suniya Sabara Shoka Dukha Jai Guchibe Hare Krishna. International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON Juhu, welcomes all the wonderful devotees for today morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It is said that when the people of the world select us in the assembly of politicians, we get a place. And when SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple selects us in the assembly of wonderful devotees, we get a place. So today we are very, very fortunate to be in the assembly of devotees and get shelter in the lotus feet of SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple and service in the lotus feet of SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple. That's why I would like to pay thousands and thousands of prostrated humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of their lordships, SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple, their eternal concerts. Thereafter, I would like to pay my obeisances unto the founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ji under his lotus feet, and to my spiritual master who has been very kind unto me, and also I would like to pay my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of all the assembled wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, and take the blessings that I can render some service, thereby I can please all of you, Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple has been very kind to me. I remember 1988, as a young boy in college, I used to come and I prayed to RasbihariTemple, please help me. If you help me, I will dedicate my life to you. So Ras Bihari ji really helped me. I remember those days when Mukund Madhav Prabhu, Rasraj Prabhu, Kapila Prabhu, Jiva Prabhu. That time there was a devotee, Rishabh Dev Prabhu. He was transcending. From a college student, he was trying to become a full-time devotee. So they all took care of me. That was how Ras Bihari took care of me. And really, Sri SriRadhaRasbihariTemple helped me a lot. In those days, the first youth class which I attended was on Saturday evening in the 5th floor of the Prabhupada quarters. And after the class, the coordinator gave one coupon. There are 8 of us, and the coupon was, we are entitled to come down by the lift and go to Govinda's and eat nice, hot, sumptuous Govinda Prasadam. And I got hooked to it. Every Saturday after Saturday I came, then Ras Bihari hooked me and helped me. And I'm trying to reciprocate by surrendering to Ras Bihari. I'm very grateful to Ras Bihari. They have been very kind. So with this, we will proceed towards today's wonderful song by Srimati Radharani and the Gopis. They are expressing their pain in the heart with this wonderful song. They look at Uddhava, who has been sent by Krishna to upgrade his consciousness. Krishna wants him to be more come towards Madhurya from his Aishwarya, Sakya, or whatever ras he is in. So he sends him with a special mission, go to the gopis. So in Vrindavan, Uddhava then is coming near the gopis, and that is how the gopis in separation saw that, is it Krishna? Because Uddhava and Krishna and Uddhava, they look the same. Same bluish in color, same walking, same talking, and sitting, all was nicely copied by Uddhava. But they could found that at the same time there was a bumblebee coming nearby. So Radharani is shouting at the bumblebee and addressing Krishna or Uddhava that he is a cheater. He has given us a lot of pain. So this is a very, very esoteric, a very, very highly exalted or a very high level of consciousness which has been put in very simple words. This is a consciousness which not an ordinary living entity can ever come into. So there are 2 kinds of pastimes of Krishna. One is called as a Prakat Leela, and another is called Aprakat Leela. When Parikshit Maharaj is having 7 days of that, almost 4 days is over, Sukdev Goswami Maharaj is giving that pastimes of Krishna which will uplift the consciousness of Parikshit Maharaj. There is the Prakat Leela also going on. When Krishna, after 11 years, 3 months, 4.5 days, he left with Akrur and to kill his uncle Kamsa, there were 2 kinds of Leela going. One Krishna is going to Mathura, and there is another Krishna and another set of gopis. They are doing Leela. That is Aprakat Leela. It is nicely said, Adiya Pisai Leela Kare Gaura Rai, Kono kono bhagyavan deki bara pai. Some fortunate souls can see the uppercut Leela also. But in uppercut Leela, of loving Krishna is little less. It's called Madhurya Ras. It is in the Sambhoga, means they are together. But the intensity of loving Krishna in separation is called Vipralamba, is very, very, very intense. And that is what Parikshit Maharaj has to get. Krishna, loving Krishna in separation. So that is what is going on here. And the best is being given to Parikshit Maharaj because he has to go back home, back to Godhead. The words which are uttered by Srimati Radharani are at the level of, is a transcendental, it's called Para. There's others called as Pashyati, Madhyama and Vyakari. Like Mukund Madhav Prabhu, many times I heard from this. There are 4 levels of sound. Para are those sounds which are transcendental, spiritual by nature. It is coming from a very pure heart, from the depth of the heart. It is coming from a clean heart, where there is no lust, anger, greed. There is only love. And the words are coming from the depth of the heart. These are called as para. So these words are transcendental, and we hear here and here. It will definitely take us to the transcendental realm. So there are other realms also. Pashyati. Pashyati are those, when we speak, we can see the pastimes. That is a little level, lower level consciousness. And the Madhyama, whatever speak, at least we will understand the meaning. Vyakari is just speaking but not understanding the essence. So this is at the stage of Para. And Radharani is saying that, oh humble bee, oh friend of a cheater. Oh, okay. That was yesterday. After making us drink the enchanting nectar of his lips, only one, Sakrid. Sakrid adara suddham swamohinim paya itva. Sakrid, that means once. We hear this word Sakrid many times. Sakrid eva prapannam. Even once we pay obeisance to Krishna with a right consciousness, then Krishna will give the same opulence which he is enjoying. That kind of happiness we will get. Sakrit once. Krishna gave us the nectar from his mouth only once. And after that, Sumana Saiva Sadasatat Jat Asma Bhavadrik. He vanished. He's a cheater. So, Srimati Radharani is singing this wonderful song. We hear many songs, but this particular song was sung 5,000 years ago. And still, this is what is being heard in Vaikuntha. This is the best, one of the best is Gopi Geet. It ranks, and this is ranking somewhere in the 3rd. In the material world, we hear some song, and that is super hit for 1 week, and next week some other song. But this was super hit, is super hit, and will be super hit for eternity. So this wonderful song has been sung. How come Srimati Radharani is singing such wonderful songs? So there's a wonderful esoteric explanation given by Srila Vaishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. That is okay. That is in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 4th chapter, 24. Namaste Tasma Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vedhase Papurjanamayam Somya Yanmukambaruhasamam. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, very, very esoteric purport, and never ever I seen such an esoteric purport by Srila Prabhupada. He says that, okay, Srila Prabhupada in the says that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that the wonderful, wonderful esoteric this thing. I will just come to that. It's very, 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 very interesting to hear this. So pay attention. Okay, by gradual development of transcendental knowledge, one can rise to the stage of transcendental arts and music, dance displayed by the Lord in Ras Leela. Okay, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has been mentioned, yeah. But please pay attention, this is very esoteric. You will never hear more esoteric. Oh, it's so esoteric. Just you will enjoy this. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has made a further advance, namely that the nectar from the mouth of Lord Krishna is transferred to his different concerts, Radharani, Lalita Sakhi and others, Vishaka and others. Thus, they learn the finer arts of music, dance, dressing, decoration, and such things which are relished by the Lord. Such music, dance, and decoration enjoyed by the Lord are not certainly not anything mundane, because the Lord is addressed in the very beginning as Para, transcendental. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that the art of singing, the art of dancing, the art of playing music by which Krishna will be pleased, Radharani is learning because she is taking the nectar from the mouth of SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple. So the secret is Sakrit Adara Suddham Swamohinim Payapitva. By giving the nectar, Krishna is now transferring the art of singing and dancing. So this is very esoteric. Now that they have taken the nectar, they are singing so beautifully, definitely Krishna will be pleased. But after giving this nectar, Adaram Maduram, so it was very nectarian. But after that, when they wanted to have the next dose, Sumana Saiva Sadya Tat Tajet Asman Bhavdrika. He is a cheater. He abandoned us. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in this particular sloka, his purport, Prabhupada disciples are saying, the mood of Srimati Radharani is Parijalpa. And in Ujjwal Nilamani, Parijalpa has been referred as that speech through which, through various devices, one shows one's cleverness by exposing the mercilessness, the duplicity, and unreliability, and so on of Lord Shri Krishna. So they are actually trying to shout at Krishna, and they are saying that he has cheated us. So it's very, very beautiful. There are 10 kinds of jalpa. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions it. There are 10 kinds of jalpa. And it's very interesting to know that it's called 10 kinds of different Chitra Jalpa. The first one is called Prajalpa. We call Prajalpa. But this Prajalpa, when Srimati Radharani and others do, that is when the lover spitefully, maliciously, and passionately insults Krishna. That is called Prajalpa. And Parijalpita, that is what today Radharani is doing. When the lover claims that Krishna, who is the master of her heart, is merciless, crooked, and fickle, is called, this kind of talks is called Parijalpita. Vijalpa, the third kind of talks gopis do. When in the heart one honors and loves Krishna, although externally they cast spiteful glances, looking angrily, and spiteful words, they speak harsh words. That is, but in the heart they love Krishna, but looking angrily and speaking is called Vijalpa. That is in front of Krishna. Others are not in front of Krishna. The fourth is called Ujalpa. When the gopis are talking, when the lover angrily, arrogantly, spitefully insults Krishna in front of Krishna, they very angrily insults Krishna, calling him a rake, a rogue, that is called Ujalpa. So this we cannot dare do. Gopis definitely can do. Every word which comes out of the mouth of the gopis is very pleasing. That's why in SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple, in the eighth stanza, what is the last line? Lampata. Lampat is a very, very, very low class word. Lampat is a insult. Lampat is a word which is referring to a man who's got no control in his mind. Lampat is a person who is looking at one lady, then another lady, then fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh, and his mind is zoom, 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 zoom. That is a Lampat. But Radharani and gopis, while reciting SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple, is calling Krishna as Lampat, and Krishna likes it. And we also call Lampat. But that is because the gopis call. But we dare not, we cannot do that. But when the gopis call Krishna as Lampat, Krishna is very pleased. He finds that all the wonderful prayers in the Vedas is zero in front of this Lampat word uttered by Srimati Radharani. This is Braj Bhav. This is the mood of the Brajvasis. Krishna is pleased. Even when, like Yashoda Maya shouts at Krishna, she did it once, never again, but he liked it. So, because the words are there, but the heart is for Krishna. So, in this way, we find that we have seen Ajalpa, then comes Avajalpa, Sanjalpa. This is the fifth kind. When the lover mocks, jokes Krishna with many sarcastic words and asserts that Krishna is ungrateful, it's called Sanjalpa. This is like they, joking, hey, Krishna is Lampat and all that. Avajalpa is the sixth kind of talks among the gopis. When the lover, the gopi says that Krishna is harsh, lusty, crooked. And gopis, she is afraid of what loving Krishna may bring. What is the result of loving Krishna is called Avajalpa. And the seventh kind of talks between the gopis, when the lover says, it is foolish and useless to fall in love with Krishna. He is so cruel. He tortures us. Even the innocent birds. He tortures even the innocent birds. These are crooked words, are called as Abhijalpa. The eighth kind of Jalpa talks between gopis is called Ajalpa. It's called Ajalpa. When the lover gopis are filled with disgust and declares, Krishna is crooked, deceptive. He only gives us pain. We should stop talking of him and instead talk of something else, something more pleasant. That is called Ajalpa. But gopis cannot talk anything other than Krishna. But the ninth kind of talks between the gopi is called as Pratijalpa. When the lover declares, Krishna is a highwayman. My way, or Krishna is a highwayman in loving affairs. He is a rake, cheater. He is a rake who likes to enjoy pastimes with many girls. Therefore, he should not come anywhere near me. That is called Prati Jalpa. Sujalpa, the last one. When the lover, the gopi, sincerely, deeply, humbly, and restlessly ask many questions about Krishna. How is Krishna? Where is Krishna? What is he doing? That is called Sujalpa. So these talks are in the transcendental platform. So this is what is being spoken by. So Radharani today is saying that, oh, he is a cheater, he gave us a nectar and he ran away. So by giving the nectar today, the art of singing and dancing, Radharani and the gopis have learned. And but he ran away so that the intensity of loving in separation increases. Like the mother, when is she is in love with the child, and the child goes to the hostel, the son goes to the hostel, far country, saying, "What is my son doing?" The intensity increases. So it's Vipralamba Parikya Bhav, which is in Braj, is the greatest of intense of all the intense consciousness. But Radharani is saying, he's such a cheater. How come Padma, goddesses of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, is Acharya of Pada Sevanam? Oh, that is because Parichartikatam Tata Padmam Nu Padma Hi Apibata Hitacheta Hi Uttama Sloka. That is because Krishna is very clever, and he very cleverly has attracted the heart of Lakshmi Devi, and he is attracted the heart of Lakshmi Devi with his wonderful words, his beautiful words. The words which is uttered by Krishna is Megh Gambhir. You understand what is Megh Gambhir? Megh Gambhir is like clouds when they come together and they crash. Durdum, 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 durdum. It's called Megh, and it's far, but it can be heard here also. Megh Gambhir. Plus, it is Madhur. It is very, very sweet. And gopis in Gopi Git very nicely sing that and say that in the 8th sloka they say Madhuraya Gira Valguvakaya Buddha Manogaya Pushkare Kshana Vidikarima Viramuyati Adara Siddhunapi Yayavasvana. Hey Gopi, lotus eyed one. Oh Krishna, oh lotus eyed one, your sweet voice, Krishna's voice, sweet and charming. Madhuraya Gira, it's Megh Gambhir. With the sweet words, Krishna charmed Lakshmi Devi, and Lakshmi Devi is being cheated, but with the sweet words, again, she is not going away like Radharani and Gopis went away, but continuing to do service in the lotus feet of Krishna. So in this way, in today's talk, they are shouting at, they are expressing that Krishna is a cheater. He is not to be trusted. He is merciless. He has broken our hearts, and still he is living. So these gopis are expressing, this is Madhurya Ras in Braj, in Vipralamba, and it's a Parikya Bhav. It's the topmost. This is Madhurya Ras. At the same time, today is a very auspicious appearance day of Purushottam Thakur, who is in a Sakya Ras. Purushottam Das Thakur today is the Chaturthi, Shukla Paksh, Falgun Mas, Shukla Paksh Chaturthi, appearance day of Purushottam Das Thakur. And Purushottam Das Thakur is being referred by Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami says, 1 second. Yeah. There are many slokas in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela where it is said that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, 11th chapter, slok number 13, it is said, let me come to that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare. Very nicely talks about Purushottam Thakur. 1 second, so Purushottam Das Thakur is being mentioned as a Priya Saka of Krishna. Dwadas Saka, there are 12 Saka, and of that, Purushottam Das Thakur is called as Stoka Krishna. And Stoka Krishna, Priya Sakas are Krishna's friend who are Krishna's age. And Stoka Krishna really punched Krishna and bait Krishna and pushed Krishna and made him fall. Stoka means small, but it looks like Krishna. That was small Krishna he was called. He punched, bait Krishna and made him fall. Stoka Krishna's father shouted at Stoka Krishna, "Why are you beating Krishna? Krishna is the apple of our eyes. You should not do that. He is the son of the king of Braja. Don't do that." Next day, Stoka Krishna was not beating, but Krishna was instigating him, beat me, beat me. So this was the Sakya Ras between Krishna. It was so when Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Stoka Krishna, he comes in the he is actually the great friend of Balram also, and he comes as a associate of Balram Nityananda Prabhu, and he comes in a family where in 4 generations they are all Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna's related to Krishna's pastimes. His great-grandfather, his grandfather, father, Sadashiv, and Purushottam Das Thakur, and his son, Kanu, they are all coming from Krishna's pastime to this pastime. 4 generations. Purushottam Das Thakur, I'll just take one more. There are many things to say, but I'll just say. Once he was dancing and dancing and dancing. Somebody gave him a glass of snake poison, and he drank it, thinking it is Charnamrit. So everybody thought that he will die, but he was dancing, dancing and dancing, and he continued dancing. So these kind of chamatkars, the associates of Lord Nityananda does and capture the heart. Purushottam Das Thakur, right from birth, was focused to the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. That is what we should today try to grasp from Purushottam Das Thakur pastimes and leelas. Srila Purushottam Das Thakur ki. So I give rest to my speech, and thank you all very much for paying very good attention and giving me an opportunity to serve you all. Thank you very much. We'll take one question or yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you very much for the very nectarian class. So,
the nectar is coming from Krishna's mouth. Sakrid.
So thank you for giving the reference of this 2nd canto, chapter 4th, the text that you mentioned. Text
This
24.
chapter, canto 2, chapter 4, the second last slok.
Yeah. So this is a very interesting shloka, Maharaj. So I was just referring to the purport, the later part of this purport. Towards the end, it is mentioned, Prabhupada mentions, the pure devotees of the Lord, however, can equally relish the nectar in the form of the profound philosophical discourses
Yeah, that's very nice.
and in the form of kissing by the Lord in the rasa dance, as there is no distinction.
Yes, very esoteric. I'm happy you're making the point. In that purport, you can repeat that.
The pure devotees of the Lord, however, can equally relish the nectar in the form of the profound philosophical discourses and in the form of kissing by the Lord in the rasa dance, as there is no mundane distinction between the two.
You all understanding what Prabhuji is reading? He's saying that when elevated Vaishnavis, they relish the philosophical discussion in Krishna's pastimes or Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, the kind of enjoyment or kind of joy, ecstasy they relish is equal to the joy, ecstasy gopis are relishing when they are dancing with Krishna. So sometimes we say that philosophy is dry, but here you can repeat the thing.
The pure devotees of the Lord, however, can
It's
equally
pure
relish,
devotees of the Lord.
can equally relish the nectar in the form of profound philosophical discourses and in the form of kissing by the Lord in the rasa dance.
Yeah. When the gopis are kissing, they get a lot of joy. But the same joy, pure devotees, when they discuss philosophy in the their religion. Thank you for bringing that up.
So Maharaj, my question is
You got a
that
question.
on this point, that now Uddhava, when he goes to Vrindavan as a messenger, and he realizes that he was not sent by Krishna only as a messenger, but there was another higher purpose to make aware Uddhava about the love of the gopis and Srimati Radharani. So Uddhava was in the Jnana Mishra stage, like initially, and then they were in the Madhurya, the Prem, So my question is, when Uddhava is trying to share initially about Krishna's magnanimity, that don't worry, Krishna is everywhere and stuff like that. So the gopis and other devotees, they were not so much interested in this profound philosophical understanding about the Lord. So looks like this particular line in this particular verse, the pure devotees and whatever we read in this shloka. So this is applicable only till Dasya Ras, because Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya Ras, devotees, they don't relish so much the profound philosophical discourses. It appears like that. So can you please make us understand how to understand this line? That is applicable even for gopis and all. Or this is only for us, like till Dasya?
No, when Srila Prabhupada is writing, pure devotees relish the philosophical discussion. So it's equal to the joy which gopis get when they relish the kissing of Krishna. So he means pure devotees. So when Uddhava was speaking, he is actually not discussing, he is advising. You are understanding what I'm trying to say? He's trying to tell that gopis, you all are small girls or less intelligent. Listen to me. I'm saying something. Okay. He's not discussing. You please repeat the line which Prabhupada writes in the purport.
The same line. The pure devotees of the Lord, however, can equally relish.
If Radharani and Lalita Saki are speaking philosophy in Gopi Gita, they really attain more the joy, the happiness which they relish when they are kissing Krishna. But here, Uddhava is going as a teacher. He's not going as a friend of gopis. Uddhava is going as a teacher and is trying to not discuss, he's trying to advise. There's a difference in mood. All right, that's why Gopi said, who are you? Okay. So, Prabhupada is right. Okay, Prabhupada is right. If Lalita Saki, Radharani, Vishaka, they are discussing philosophy, they will get that same kind of joy when they were kissing Krishna. But when Uddhava is coming and discussing philosophy, he is not discussing, he is trying to teach philosophy. So you understand, it's not discussion, it's one way. I am telling that Krishna is everywhere. So, who are you to boss us? So gopis did not like that. All right. So there is a subtle, not subtle, it's very obvious. Hare Krishna. Mukund Madhav Prabhu, would you like to add something to this? Okay. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time and inspiring me with your presence. Narada Prabhu and others. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Granth Srimad Bhagavat Mahapurana ki, Nithai Gaur Hari Premanande. But I agree, it's one of the esoteric purport.